Welcome back, YouTube. It is Saiko here, and today we are here with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be discussing the Lauri Markkanen to the Cavs trade. Now, before we even get into the video, if you guys could please hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. And also hit subscribe while you're at it because it helps the channel grow and it lets me know that you guys are interested in my content. Anyways, today, or I guess yesterday for the people who are watching this video, the Cavs traded for Lauri Markkanen in a 3-team trade involving them, the Bulls, and the Portland Trail Blazers. So the Bulls traded for Derrick Jones Jr. and Portland actually traded for Larry Nance Jr., which kind of helps them on the defensive end. But at the same time, when I look at a lot of these deals, I'm kind of just a little bit confused on why the Cavs even did this in the first place. I think the first question that a lot of us are thinking when we saw this trade happen was, why do the Cavs even want Lauri Markkanen in the first place? They have like a million other big men, and especially like Evan Mobley, who's an up-and-coming rookie. I mean, what are they trying to do here? Like, does this mean that Kevin Love is pretty much out the window? Because he's been trying to get his way out of Cleveland for at least, like, I want to say like the past 2 to 3 years, ever since he signed that extension, which a lot of people thought was a big mistake. Even the fact that he got cut from Team USA because like he didn't really like fit the team, I guess. I don't really remember what the reasoning for it was, but I know that he got cut from Team USA, and I think it was just because the man has not been healthy for like who knows how long. Are the Cavs trying to get rid of him? Because if they are, I feel like the most appropriate trade for him to go, or like the most appropriate team for him to go to, would have been the Blazers. I just don't really get why the Cavs are doing this trade. He doesn't help defensively. You got rid of Larry Nance, who is a better defensive player than Lauri is. I mean, yeah, Lauri, I guess, is a better shooter than Nance is, but looking at that team, I feel like Kevin Love is not the guy that we thought he is. Or I mean, I guess Kevin Love is not the player that he once was in Minnesota, or at least like when LeBron was there. He's not that dude anymore. If anything, it's the Colin Sexton and Darius Garland show. And we don't even know if the Cavs plan on keeping Colin Sexton either. I think my main point is just, why did the Cavs even do this in the first place? Like, you bring in a guy who is a defensive liability, which, I mean, yeah, he's great to pair with Jarrett Allen, but the amount of big men on this team, Kevin Love, if you want to consider him a big man, or at least like the power forward and center position, Kevin Love, him now, Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, it just doesn't make sense. I almost said Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson is in Sacramento. I guess that Lauri kind of fits the timeline of this team if they're trying to go younger, but with Kevin Love there, it's kind of hard to see you going younger. It's just, I don't know. I'm still so confused about it. On the other hand, if you think about it, the Bulls might have just created Lob City through this trade. Lonzo is your point guard. You got Alex Caruso. You got Zach LaVine. You got Derrick Jones Jr. Now you have just all of these lob threats that will be able to just help rack up Lonzo's assists and just become Lob City 2.0. That was the first thing I really thought about when I saw that Derrick Jones went to the Bulls, and thinking about how they have all that firepower in terms of dunkers. And I guess another question is if Larry Nance will actually be able to help the Portland Trail Blazers, because yeah, he adds defense, but can he stay healthy? Because for like the past 2 years, I feel like I've barely seen him play. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you though, I've barely watched any Cavs games, but I do remember on my fantasy that Larry Nance was pretty much out for a majority of the season, but he was putting up Defensive Player of the Year numbers, or he was in consideration for Defensive Player of the Year either last year or during the bubble. I'm pretty sure it had to be last year, especially during the beginning of the season, because he didn't play in the damn bubble. What the hell am I even talking about? Anyways, back to the topic at hand. I know that Lauri Markkanen kind of wanted out of Chicago because number one, they didn't give him the amount of money that he wanted. I don't even think he really got the amount of money that he wanted from this Cavs deal, but they got the Cavs deal done. He's in Cleveland. He wanted a new start. He didn't want to be in Chicago anymore, but it's just like, is Cleveland really the place you want to go to? Because if anything, I feel like he should have just gone with the Spurs if the Spurs really even offered him anything, because instead apparently they offered Zach Collins, who hasn't played in 2 years, and Doug McDermott, who, I mean, he's cool, but he's a role player. They offered them contracts, but they didn't offer anything to Lauri, if anything. Or even the Hornets. The Hornets, like, they had an offer for him, didn't they? Or they wanted him, but I guess nothing came about that either. Oh, I even forgot that apparently Isaiah Hartenstein is actually playing on the Cavs now too, so that's another big man that is just in that logjam at center and power forward, I guess. I don't know. Would they play Isaiah Hartenstein at center? Or, I mean, not at center, but at power forward? Wow, I can't even talk. I don't think they would, but it's just, I don't understand what the Cavs are doing. I don't understand why the Bulls did this deal. I mean, yeah, they get a nice dunker in Derrick Jones Jr., but honestly, I think Lauri would have been nice off the bench, even though, I mean, after losing his starting spot, he kind of just did, like, every statistical category of his kind of dipped. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't even know what to think of this deal, really. I don't even know how I'm supposed to end this video, but the Bulls apparently gave up Lauri Markkanen for Derek Jones, and Larry Nance went to the Blazers, not the Cavs. It's just, I don't know. Are you guys just as confused as me? Leave that in the comments down below. Anyways, my name is Saiko. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know this was kind of a ramble, if anything, and I just kind of lost track of what I was doing here, but I just don't get this trade at all. Leave your comments down below if you think otherwise.